Liverpool have possibly signed the best number 9 in world football in Alexander Isak. Yes, of course, we already know Alexander Isak is a Liverpool player. £125 million deal that it was confirmed on transfer deadline day. But in my opinion, Liverpool have signed the best number 9 in world football. We've seen how good he has become for Newcastle over the years, of course. And look, definitely as Liverpool supporters, we've all known how good Alexander Isak has been against Liverpool. But in my opinion, I think Alexander Isak will change the game for Liverpool and how Liverpool play, and also in terms of how Liverpool create going forward. Of course, the front three of potentially having Mo Salah, Alexander Isak, and either Hugo Ekitike or Cody Gakpo, I think is one of the best front threes in world football. But let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comments, because look, I think it's a very interesting conversation to have. How do Liverpool fit Alexander Isak into this Liverpool team? What happens with Hugo Ekitike? And of course, Mohamed Salah. How does Mo Salah now change his game to allow the best out of Alexander Isak and himself? Let's have a quick conversation about it. So we know that Mo Salah was phenomenal last season in the Premier League, undoubtedly the PFA Player of the Year, and was absolutely unreal throughout the season. But of course, now there is change at Liverpool. We know Liverpool now have changed the ways, removing Darwin Núñez, removing Luis Diaz, and now bringing in the likes of Hugo Ekitike and Alexander Isak. How will that change? How will Liverpool now develop in the new Arne Slot way in terms of having his own players, having his own strikers at the football club? Well, I don't think there'll be much of a difference personally. I think Mo Salah is that adaptable now. Again, loads of people suggest that Mo Salah is one version, again, can run in behind, doesn't really create anything. He's not a creator, he's a goal scorer. He's everything. Mohamed Salah is everything. We've seen that last season, of course, was so close, equaling the Premier League assist record, of course, with 18 Premier League assists. But when you look at the goal scoring as well, him and Alexander Isak, the top two, as you guys can hopefully see on screen right now. Again, Mo Salah and Alexander Isak, the top two in the league in terms of goals, and also in non-penalties as well. They're very high on the list as well. Again, only Erling Haaland, I think, interrupts Mohamed Salah and Alexander Isak. But look, Liverpool, in my opinion, now have the two best forwards in the league, undoubtedly, in my opinion. Look, people will scream Erling Haaland to me, but I think the combination of Mohamed Salah and Alexander Isak will be undoubtedly phenomenal for Liverpool going forward. But let's see what Alexander Isak's stats look like and what Liverpool can expect from the Swedish international. So if we take a look at Alexander Isak's stats for last season, as you guys can hopefully see on screen already, of course, 23 Premier League goals last season, getting 6 assists, of course, from 34 Premier League starts. Already, as you guys can hopefully see on screen, you can see his entire shot map on screen, as well as myself. But as you guys can see, there's 66 shots from that, of course, getting 23 Premier League goals, which again, I think it's very impressive. I think it's tremendously impressive. He got that for Newcastle last season. Again, of course, it does include penalties. It does include, of course, all the shots. But I think when you look, as you guys can see on FootMob, it is very much well broken out, isn't it? You know, again, he's got, again, 66 shots in open play, 11 breakaways, as you guys can see on screen right now. Of course, it does equal to 1 goal in that aspect of things. But again, even the shots from outside the box, again, he's having not many shots outside the box, but I think, again, you look at it, getting 3 goals from that, I think it's a really good return. But again, I think overall, Liverpool are signing an elite box finisher. Look, of course, for a world number 9, for the best number 9 in world football, you have to be elite in that area. But I think even when you look at the situation on FootMob, again, I think Alexander Isak is one of the best finishers around. And it's not only just a simple tap-in. Again, lots of the goals, for example, were very, very good, well-taken goals. You know, I can remember back to last season or the season before where he scored an absolute banger for Newcastle against Manchester City, where he takes the control and just finishing in the top corner. I think he's absolutely unbelievable at doing that. It's not only that, as you guys can already see from earlier on, he has got, he's an assister as well. He assists for goals as well. And of course, with Mohamed Salah, with Cody Gakpo, and with Hugo Ekitike, look, the partnerships are there for Alexander Isak to thrive and be able to flourish under Arne Slot. And I do think when you look and compare him to any team in Europe, of course, you guys can see, but there in terms of the per 90s, again, obviously 0.75 in terms of goals for the Premier League last season. Again, you look at it though, the entirety is just green, of course, as you guys can hopefully see on screen as well as me. But again, penalty goals 0.13, non-penalty XG 0.56, and again, everything is just screaming of him becoming a world-class player, and he already is there, but I do think he has another element to his game that can take him even further into becoming what he has already explained to himself and being a naturally born winner and winning the Premier League again, winning the Champions League. Alexander Isak wants to win everything at Liverpool, of course. But let me know your guys' thoughts on the stats itself, of course. So we don't take a look at defending, but in general, the shooting areas, and of course just the general aspect of it. Again, at the 99 shot, getting 23 Premier League goals is pretty decent when you actually think, take things into consideration. But let me know your guys' thoughts, of course. But let me know anyway. But the biggest question coming out of the Alexander Isak saga from this summer is, how will Liverpool now get Alexander Isak and Hugo Ekitike both in the same team? In my opinion, I don't think Liverpool do, but there is the possibility that Liverpool can do it. Of course, we've heard from Arne Slot throughout the season saying that versatile forwards are there at Liverpool, and that is Hugo Ekitike. Of course, Liverpool view him as a world-class number 9 prospect in terms of, again, they think in the next 5 years, Hugo Ekitike will become what we all think Alexander Isak is now. But again, Hugo Ekitike has that versatility in his game that will allow him to play off the left. And I also think people are not really talking about it yet. But Mo Salah does leave for AFCON. Liverpool will have to find a way without Mohamed Salah at AFCON. And again, what does that mean for Liverpool? In my opinion, it means a formation change or potential development in the Arne Slot's arsenal, where again he might go back to 4-4-2. He might go to a 4-4-2 diamond in terms of having 4 midfielders. Again, we know that Arne Slot likes to try things out. Of course, we've seen already with the double 10s against Manchester City last season, but it's an option for Liverpool now that we could play Alexander Isak and Hugo Ekitike at top. Do I personally think we'll see a lot of them together? No, I don't. I think, look, that will be reserved a little bit, and I do think, again, Liverpool will allow opportunities for Rio Ngamoa on the left over Hugo Ekitike playing on the left. But let's not, hide anything here. Liverpool are going to be playing 50 to 60 games this season. Liverpool will hopefully be challenging right up until the end of the Premier League season, and also having the likes of Alexander Isak and Hugo Ekitike be huge impacts for Liverpool. Again, it will take its toll throughout the season, and both will get huge minutes for Liverpool this season. But in my opinion, I think both will have huge, massive impacts on Liverpool's season ahead. But let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comments section down below, of course. How many goals do you think Alexander Isak will get this season? In my opinion, all competitions, 20 to 25, I think, for his first season at Liverpool will be a decent season. Of course, we're hoping for 30, 35, or even more. But, of course, look, we do have to have the expectation that goals will be spread across Liverpool's forward line this summer or this season ahead, of course. But, of course, let me know your guys' thoughts on overall and the whole aspect of signing Alexander Isak. Of course, I can't wait to see him at Burnley in, a couple of days' time, of course. We might not start in that game, but again, how great is it to hear that Alexander Isak is a Red, and finally we can talk about him properly being a Liverpool player instead of the speculation throughout this summer, of course. But let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comment section down below. How many goals you guys think Alexander Isak will get this summer? And overall, I think it's an excellent signing, even though it is a world record, or British record fee, I should say. Of course, I think he will be an absolute superstar for Liverpool. And like I said at the start of the video, I think he is the world's best number 9 at the moment. But let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comment section down below. If you have liked this different type of video, it's very much appreciated. As always, of course, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button as well if you want to stay in tune with Liverpool content. And yeah, thank God the international break is over and we can now talk about the Reds and, more importantly, Alexander Isak as well. But I'll see you guys later on for another video. I've been Connor from the Cop Council. We'll see you guys a bit later on. Ta-ra.